out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, The Grease Trap. Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, Grease Trap.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Grease Trap. I was just telling Scotty and Paul here how my cat destroyed my TV.
I didn't even know that was possible.
I hadn't been watching the TV recently anyway. So earlier in the day, I walked into my room and I'm like, Cornelius, where you at, buddy? And I turn around and I see him and he's like walking on top of the fucking TV like a goddamn, like a tightrope. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? Get off the TV. And I look and I see there's the laundry basket over by the side of the dresser. I'm like, oh, you must have climbed up on this. Because I didn't think he could get up quite as high as our dresser is. So I'm like, grab that basket and move that shit out of the way.
Right.
So later on in the day, I'm sitting there, I'm working on my fucking book that I've been writing and shit, clackety clack and all that. And I'm listening to fucking butt rock because that seems to be the best music to write to. Like, here I am again on my own. And then next thing I know, I get like a tap on the shoulder. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? It's Chelsea. She's like, your cat just destroyed the TV. I'm like, oh shit, which one? Because I'm thinking maybe he destroyed like the fucking TV in the TV room. Because then I'd be like really, really pissed. But she's like, the one in our bedroom. I'm like, okay, that's not as bad. So I go in there. I walk in the fucking room. The TV is laying on the floor. Its display is on, and then like half the TV is like the picture that's supposed to be there, the little menu screen, and then the other half of the TV is just like a mess of like lines and crazy shit going on.
He just broke your panel.
Right, he fucked it. And so I'm like, okay, well, where is he now? And she's like, I don't know, I haven't seen him. So I fucking go track him down. I see like a few little drops of blood along the way. I'm like, oh, he hurt himself doing this. And then he's hiding behind the toilet, and he's just like super poofed up, like everything's poofy. I'm like, come here, buddy. I need to see if you're hurt. And he was like, I think he like bit his tongue or something when he fucking did it. So his mouth was all swollen. He's bleeding. Then he fucking
what the fuck, dude?
I know, he hid in his little box for like a few hours to like calm down because he was like super amped up and like terrified. And I'm like, well, maybe he learned a lesson. And then this morning I found out when I woke up that I set the TV by the front door. I heard he just like walking around on it again. So nope, didn't learn a lesson even. Just pure evil.
You need to get for Cornelius? There's stuff you can put in your house, like these little things, like it's basically just like shelves you can put up so they can climb up high. That'd probably reduce a lot of that because cats just have that urge to get as high up as they can to kind of survey their surroundings. Yeah. You probably just need to give him something like that, and he probably would stop.
Yeah, we've got Cricket like a tall ass cat tree that puts him pretty close to the ceiling, and he spends like half his day at least up there just surveying the land.
So the only, he has a few places he likes to go up that are pretty high. Like he gets up on top of the cabinets in the kitchen, and there's nothing up there, so that's okay for him to be up there. But the only thing I've ever really found that actually long term distracts him is this like little manual laser thing that like just like randomizes a laser, and he'll sit there and chase it for like fucking an hour and finally get fucking tired enough to sleep. But
demon cat, dude.
Yeah, he's definitely it's definitely like raising fucking I don't know. It is like having like some kind of little demonic imp or something. That's like your pet that you're trying to control. Chelsea the other day was like, we should get a squirrel. I'm like, let me look into this. And then it's like, I'm looking at it and it basically is like Cornelius times 10. I'm like, nope. We should
get a squirrel.
We have enough trouble with this. I don't want a squirrel. Well,
not to mention Squeaks and Cornelius are going to try to eat the squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would hunt the squirrel.
People who have squirrels in their house, like if you introduce them right, that whatever. But
how do you wait a minute? Hold the fucking phone. Maybe I don't know your cats as well as I think they do, but how are you going to introduce the thing that they watch out the fucking window all day and want to kill to them in a way that they're not going to kill it?
Really, I think the bigger threat to a squirrel would be Salvador because like he's the one who really is like squirrel bloodthirsty. But
I mean,
I'm not getting a fucking
Squeak wouldn't chase a fucking squirrel up a tree. Or hasn't.
I mean, he probably has.
We've watched Squeaks trying to kill a squirrel up a tree. We've literally seen Squeaks like this. the squirrel's like la la la, you know, like
shimmying up the tree trying to fucking get it.
But
you're
even
trying to claim that those
assuming that those
cats
cats don't try to kill the squirrel or the dog, even if they accept the squirrel as like this is part of the household now, and you know all that squirrel's going to be a force for fucking pure destruction around the house. They're food aggressive. They fucking can get into anything. So no, I'm not doing a squirrel. Squirrel ain't happening.
Putting your foot down on the squirrel.
Well,
2 weeks later, guess who got a squirrel, guys? Me, TJ. Look at my new squirrel.
I mean, I pretty much have to veto some kind of crazy pet at least once a year. So it started off with like, I want a giant snake. Nope. And then it was, I saw this pig and he's never going to grow any bigger than, nope. Oldest scam in the book. Don't fucking fall for that. And then this.
Look how small this pig is. It won't get any bigger. It's like they're starving the pig. As soon as you start feeding it, it's going to be huge.
So, I've read about this. The pig thing. It's like neither of his parents are bigger than this. That's the old, like they tell you all these same shit. These fucking pig grifters. Like,
yeah,
look,
say show me their parents right now.
This pig ain't gonna get no bigger than this. And you know, if sometimes it happens. Sometimes there are pigs that only about like that.
They're called pot-bellied pigs.
Right.
They're tiny.
But a lot of those pigs, even of the pot-belly variety or whatever, end up getting fucking gigantic. People be like, yeah, this is my pot-belly pig, not going to get no bigger than this. And then the next thing they know, they got a fucking 110-pound animal. Like, so it's like,
the pigs, if you get really unlucky, you have a pig that's 350.
I know,
almost
but I'm saying like
pounds.
even like, yeah, this is crazy. So don't fucking fall for the pig grift. They are cute.
Unless you want to have a big ass pig.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're willing to accept, like, hey, I'm gonna fucking raise a giant ass fucking huge hog or something, then sure, go ahead. But like, don't fall for the grift of like it's gonna stay small and cute. It's not.
That's the oldest one. That'd be like getting a puppy and be like, the puppy will get no bigger than this. Yeah, is it a Chihuahua or something? You know, is it a fucking Maltese or some toy dog? You know, like
I'll tell you what, though,
sure.
the first motherfucker who actually can get a reliably small pig bred will fucking make a fortune, because you know that's the main reason people don't want a pig is because it's fucking a giant hog beast. But if you can get a pig that is really small, I think a lot of people would fucking definitely get that. Smarter than a dog, has pretty much the same
Does it
fucking
kind of fit the definition of a pig, though. I mean, like a pig is an animal like that wants to eat a lot of fucking food.
Well,
like, that's its thing. Like it roots around. Like it's a pig in the wild.
Dude, we turned
just like animals going.
We turned the gray wolf
food.
We turned the gray wolf into a fucking chihuahua, dude. We can do it. It can be done.
Well, see, that could be your life's goal.
Yeah. Hey, I'll fucking.
I've seen pot-bellied pigs and shit that are about dinosaur size. Some even smaller.
They do.
I know they exist.
They do exist, but here's I've looked into it because I was like, let's see if there's even a possibility of this being true, and I've looked into it, but you just don't know. Like there can be a pig that has two of those parents that only grew to that size of like, yeah, see, it came from stock that they're just this big, but that offspring could still just wah, 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 wah. So it's like there's just no reliability to it. But yeah, there are ones that reach adult age and have that and are small. But you just like, are you willing to fucking draw that straw? You know what I mean? Or fucking like,
you know what you do? You find one that's a couple years old, then you buy it. There you go.
I mean, if you buy one that's already an adult, you know, then I guess you're fucking protected there.
Maybe. How are you gonna know if it's an adult?
Yeah, that's true. Like,
there's ways to tell. Like, you can take it to a vet and they can look at its teeth and stuff like that. There's ways to tell it.
Yeah, by the time you get it to the vet, the motherfucker who sold it to you has fucking moved on to the next town, selling his next pig.
Well, I mean, you have to find someone that's actually reputable doing it, and anyone that's reputable is not going to tell you that, hey, it couldn't get huge.
I am so sick of this how it started, how it's going fucking meme. God damn it. Every fucking time.
Well, when I get out of this fucking godforsaken shithole pit of a country and get to Uruguay, I'm gonna have a couple capybaras, dude.
Cool.
For sure. I've already looked into it. They're not super hard to fucking take care of as long as you got a little plot of land, you know. They need some water. They've got to have like a little pond or something or a little pool.
Are they eat grasses
They're,
and stuff? Or?
Yeah, they eat like they're
Yeah, they
vegetarian.
eat grasses and other aquatic plants. They eat fruit. They eat tree bark. Actually, very selective feeders, I guess. So I'm looking this up. I don't know this off of fucking memory or anything.
No.
Well, they're
also not
a panda.
They're not super happy as solitary animals either. So they want to have like a family. So if you're gonna get them, you got to get like 2 or 3 cappies. But dude, I'm gonna have them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and apparently they're quite robust because on a planet,
I don't blame you.
On a planet that's dying, they're apparently of least concern on the conservation status. So,
well, a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're really well taken care of by the countries that fucking have them indigenously. Like they're protected well. So
yeah, whoa, reverence for nature. Whoa, that's crazy, insane.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I love fucking capybaras, dude. They look like wise old gentlemen. I want to have like a troop of wise old gentlemen that I can talk to and that all the voices in my head can subsequently talk to. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude. I'll tell you what, the baby capybaras are pretty fucking cute. I have to admit, I just Googled them like, whoa.
Dude, the thing I like about these things is they're cute, but they don't have that eye cute. You know what I mean? Like they're not cute because they got big old sparkly glistening.
Right.
Look at those nuts. They kind of have like this like aloof look in their eyes, like I'm a capybara. Yes. You know?
Yeah. Dude, they're great. I love capybaras.
They kind of look like little Sam Elliott's to me.
You want to know the saddest fucking thing that you'll ever fucking hear? What? You want to know what the first time I saw a capybara was?
When it was biting a dude's dick off? I don't know.
No. At a fucking fair at one of those like carnival freak show things.
Uh-huh.
He was in this tiny little fucking cage billed as the world's largest rat.
Oh, man.
And he was just sitting in this shitty, tiny little cage in the heat all fucking day with people oogling him. That's why I want a cappy.
World's largest rat, huh?
Yep. That's what it was. He was billed as the world's largest rat, and he was just laying there panting in a fucking tiny little cage.
They don't even look particularly rat-like.
No, they don't. I mean, they're rodents. Yeah, they are related.
Dude, they're on the money. And how do you say it, Paul? Uruguay or?
Yeah, they're on Uruguayan money.
Uruguayan. They're on Uruguayan money. The 2 peso coin.
It's pronounced "you are gay," Scotty.
You are gay. Dude, look at these little motherfuckers, man. You can't fucking. Oh shit, I forgot. I can't fucking share.
I'll do it.
I'm always doing this. No. Like I found a fucking good video of one eating a fucking watermelon that I want to show you.
I gotcha.
Because they're great. I love capybaras.
And I spelled it wrong up here, as everyone can see my shame now. Because it's not spelled like that. Capybara.
It's me,
Capybara, king of the wild frontier.
I'll stop sharing this.
Look at him, dude. Watch him eat this watermelon. It's a time lapse.
Time lapse of the capybara.
Nom 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 nom. I'm a capybara. Nom 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 nom. I'm a capybara. Nom 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 nom. Look at my little bed that I sleep on. Nom 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 nom. I'm a capybara. Yes, dude. I love capybaras. Look at his little bed.
Yeah.
Look at his little bed that he sleeps on.
I've never seen an animal eat so that us as humans were like, cut that shit off. But he's like, no, I'm just gonna eat the fucking rind. I don't give a shit.
That rind just as good.
That rind actually has more nutritional value than the fruit inside of it.
I'm not surprised.
Listen to him. Look at him. Like a wise old gentleman that you could sit and throw your arm around and have a long philosophical one-way conversation with. That's all I need in my life, really. He'll never disagree. He'll never talk shit about me. He'll never call me stupid. He'll just sit and eat his fucking watermelon while I got my arm around him, and I'll be like, Mr. Capybara, man, you don't even fucking know, dude, what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know, Paul.
I mean, you can't
capybara. I'll be like, Paul, fuck you, Paul.
You can't do that. You can't do that to Dynor because, like, if you fucking make the mistake of looking at his face while you're doing it, you just recognize the blank incomprehension there. But a capybara, you could look at that and convince yourself that it understands you. You know what I mean?
Dude, here's the thing with Dynor. Dynor has a level of understanding that some people don't think he has. He has like an emotional understanding of things. Like he can read human emotion. That's Dynor's thing. Like, so when you're sad or anxious, Dynor will seek me out and like curl up next to me and try and comfort me and shit because he can feel at least the elemental kind of like negativity coming off of me. But as far as like him understanding a single, even the most simplest of concepts, no. Dynor is, you know what I mean? Whereas this guy right here, he knows everything.
Yeah. I
He's
mean,
the wisest animal in the world.
He literally understands the secrets of the universe. Capybaras could have a technologically advanced society if they wanted, but they're like, no, that's the path to destruction. We live in harmony with nature. We are capybara.
Right. We live in the rivers and in the bogs. We swim freely with our families. We eat of the fruits of the land, and we always give more than we take. That's what we do.
Well, Paul, you gotta be careful though, because they are predated on by jaguars, pumas, ocelots, eagles, and caimans.
Man, I'm gonna have a machine gun turret set up in my backyard overseeing my capybara ranch.
Also, the preferred prey of the green anaconda.
Yep.
They must be a tasty animal.
Wait.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're river animals, so yeah.
Where does the green anaconda live?
In the river?
Let's see.
Right, but I mean, like, what country is it native
to? Looks like most of northern and central South America.
Wow.
Well, Uruguay is southern South America.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's actually there.
It's southeastern.
Yeah, thank God.
So you're all right, man.
That's why the capybaras are on their money, because none of the natural predators that live in the rest of fucking South America will even step foot into Uruguay.
Well, the eagle does not need to even step a foot, though, Paul.
The eagle, dude, that eagle he better watch himself. You know those turrets they set up in the fucking hallway to kill the aliens, dude?
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna have those?
I'm getting 3 of them motherfuckers on the perimeter. Anything that comes overhead, just
he's got to take precautions, Paul. I can see Paul like, look, this is my favorite one. Eagle swoops down. It's gone.
No. I mean, you see this, dude. My cappies are going to be inside-outside dudes. They'll spend most of their time inside. The eagle can't swoop down through my roof. I'll let them out when I'm watching them.
Don't leave the window open, Paul. Never leave the window open.
Dude, and these things are big. I don't know what kind of eagle could pick up a capybara.
What kind of eagle did you say fed on it, Scotty?
I'm just on the Wikipedia. It says,
what does it say?
Jaguars, pumas, ocelots, eagles, and so it's probably an eagle lives in, I'm guessing, South America.
I gotta assume that eagle is probably eating like small capybara.
There's 9 in central.
I love how little manners he has too. Look at him drooling it all over the place. He doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's a mannerless fuck, dude. He is all about the consumption of that fucking watermelon to the exclusion of everything else. Look at it. Look at how it just drools everywhere out of his mouth. He doesn't give a fuck. This is what I need in my life. This is the energy I need surrounding me, because I give too much of a fuck. So I need at least 3 of these dudes who literally give 0 fucks about anything.
Well, that's what I liked when I was looking at just like the raw pictures of them, like the way their eyes are. If you just look at like side eye of a capybara, it kind of just has like I don't give a fuck.
Well, I think if their eyes were more forward oriented like other animals, they probably would have big old pretty. Because look at that eye. Like, think about if those big old brown eyes with the eyelashes and everything on them were forward oriented on its head, it would probably engender a lot more of that kind of sympathetic feeling. But you know, they're
prey animal. It needs a better more visual acuity.
It's a grazing animal, so it's got the side eyes and it's got the slit pupils of a grazing animal. Yeah, because they have to be able to see a wider field.
I'll tell you what, I dispute that doesn't give a fuck, though, Paul. It definitely gives a fuck about this watermelon.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, though.
That's why you see its eyes all big and shit right now, because it's fucking like, food.
He knows what's important. His eyes don't get big like that talking about Bo Jiden, okay?
Yep.
He don't give a fuck about Bo Jiden. He gives a fuck about that watermelon, though. He understands what's real in this world, what's tangible.
Too.
The food in your belly, the juice from that watermelon. That is a tangible, real thing that you can reach out and touch. Would you want to reach out and touch Bo Jiden? I wouldn't.
He might reach out and touch. Really. He might reach out and touch you, Paul.
He'd do more than touch me, probably.
He might reach out and sniff that hair. He might reach out and finger that pussy. You don't know.
You never know, dude. And I don't want my pussy fingered.
I don't want mine fingered either. It was like,
if you meet Joe Biden, it's gonna happen, Paul.
Then he fucking.
Don't get.
Then
when you look in a room alone with him.
When you start to look uncomfortable,
doesn't even have
be like,
fingers.
Yeah,
he couldn't finger my pussy if he wanted to.
Capybara don't give a fuck about that pussy. You just want to eat that watermelon and listen to the fucking philosophical.
Does he eat the entire watermelon through this video?
Yes, he does. I watch these quite often, by the way. I find I follow several capybara channels of people who keep them as pets, and I will sit and I will watch them eat, and I will watch them play, and I will watch them swim. I don't know how long this fucking video is. It's 27 minutes of this capybara devouring a watermelon, man. And I'm telling you right now, we are 7 minutes and 42 seconds in, and it's every bit as scintillating as when I hit play. It just keeps getting better the longer you watch it. I love it.
I just can't believe they can eat so damn much. I mean, I know watermelon's not super calorically dense, but that's just crazy to see an animal eat an entire watermelon.
Yeah, I mean, they're big. They're not tiny animals, which is why I was wondering, like, what kind of eagle? I mean, I guess their babies are tiny. Their babies are like pot-bellied pigs.
Well, that's what I was figuring. It must be the babies that are predated upon by the fucking eagles, because there's no way.
When I get these little guys as babies, and if an eagle snatches one of them, I will never own a capybara again, because it will be due to my own negligence.
Capybara. Let me see how big do they get?
Oh, see, like I want him to drink that juice. I'm seeing like that juice pool, and it's like, oh man, that juice right there.
He's kind of slurping it up as he goes. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, I want to stick my face in there or stick a straw in there and slurp up that watermelon juice. The problem with that is there's probably a lot of capybara backwash in that little pool of water down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on his watermelon, but that one's already gone. This is from the past.
But yeah, doesn't he make that watermelon look delicious though? Look at him.
I mean, it's so delicious. He doesn't even want to cut up. And most animals are like, hey, cut this up for me. And this one's just like, nope, I'm just going to eat it. TJ, I think you should start eating your watermelons like this, dude.
Have you guys ever heard a capybara vocalize?
No.
Maybe.
The sounds they make?
Mm-mm.
Here, I'll find that for you, too, so you can see. Capybara.
I'm going to assume it's something like...
You never know.
Here is a baby capybara squeaking. That is probably cute. I haven't seen this one, so I guess we'll see. Baby capybara. Squeaking. This is a Kaplan Roos video, I guess. Mud Skipper Roos in Squeaking Up a Storm from 2015. Oh boy, this is going to be cute. They sound kind of like guinea pigs, if you've ever heard a guinea pig. Oh, my heart just melted. Feed him and love him. Don't let him just sit there squeaking. Lift him up and hold him in your arms and tell him it's going to be okay, you evil bastard. Listen to him talking.
Oh, send this channel, Paul.
They're like little tweets.
Oh man, this is sad, Paul. I think this capybara was actually shortly after this video devoured by an eagle.
No, that's not true, Scott.
Oh no, capybara madness. Oh yeah.
Here's some adult cappies doing it.
That one looks stoned.
Hear them?
Yeah, they kind of make it's almost like a fluttering noise.
Sounds almost like a fucking dolphin when they're older.
Yeah, isn't it great? Well, it's like a higher, lower pitched version of what guinea pigs do. Guinea pigs do the same, but it's very, very squeaky, and they've got, obviously big fucking lungs, so it sounds all dolphin like. It's awesome. I love them. I want them all.
It says these things get to they're like 108 pounds on average.
Yeah, they're big.
Oh,
They're not
dude,
small
really?
animals. Yeah.
Okay, I see why you're confused. I didn't think they got that big. Okay, if they're 108 pounds, that's different. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
I've always thought those things were kind of small. So I guess
No,
I was
dude,
fucking wrong.
male capybaras are actually shockingly huge. And the females can get pretty big too, but the male, like the big whatever male capybaras can be like. Let me see if I can find a big ass capybara and share it. Huge capybara.
Gigantic.
Look at him.
Holy shit! Females are slightly heavier than males. The top recorded weights are 91 kilograms, 201 pounds for a wild female from Brazil, and
201.
Yeah, 201 pounds. It says the females are actually slightly bigger than the males.
Oh, my bad. I had that backwards. Look how big this dude is.
Yeah. Well, shit, dude. Yeah, you don't have to worry. Yeah.
It's like he's like a not quite Ujiro sized dog. You know what I mean?
I would say. I mean, yeah, maybe not like, but they're just so much. I mean,
these things
so much thicker.
They look like they got to be super densely built too.
They are.
I mean, you just look at it; it's like solid.
Well, they spend most of their time in the water, in the wild, and so like they're heavier. They can handle more weight and shit. But look how big he is. His head is bigger than that dude's head.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah. I mean, the top recorded weight is about I weigh 201, so it's about the same size as me for the biggest one they've ever found, or at least recorded.
Dude, I'm gonna have a Scotty Barra as a pet, dude.
Yeah,
Scotty
Barra,
dude. Capybara. No.
I'm cool with them as an animal because I mean, technically about the same size or bigger. So as we start getting bigger than that, then I'm like, I don't know if I trust that animal.
You know, the tragic thing is though, the first time I ever saw a Scotty, it was at one of those fairs. You know, it was in a tank labeled "World's Largest Rat."
Oh shit!
It was sad. The first time I saw one.
That is sad.
I know.
Man.
Could barely move around. People throwing things at it.
Look miserable.
Want a little peanut? You want a peanut? Oh, you want a peanut? No, just kidding.
Touched by a wild mountain gorilla? That sounds dirty.
Oh yeah, touch me, wild mountain gorilla. Touch me again.
For the very first time.
You guys remember that show Touched by an Angel?
Vaguely.
Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh, it just came flooding back. Oh,
yeah, dude.
Dude, my mom used to watch.
shows.
My mom used to watch that. Not all the time, but like occasionally.
Touched by an Angel, dude.
Touched by an angel. Oh my god. wretched show.
Yeah. There's also another one with Michael Landon in it named Highway to Heaven, where he played like a hitchhiking angel that would solve everybody's problems and then leave town on his thumb at the end of every episode.
Do you remember? There was a fucking a show that was on. It only lasted like a few seasons, but it was like super hot for like the first season, where like God like comes to some stupid teenage girl and like asks her to like do things or whatever the fuck, like help this person or whatever. It was called Joan of Arcadia.
Oh yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
And like every week, God was like a different person. It was like this week, you know, maybe she'd be like sitting there, and the janitor will come up and she's like, "It's me, God." You know, and she fucking like, "You gotta help out this. You know, she's suicidal. You gotta help save her life or whatever the fuck." And then Joan would be like, "All right, I gotta go deal with this problem now." You know, the only one of those shows.
God just helped them.
I don't know. Well, he's by recruiting Joan of Arcadia to go.
Yeah, but God can just make them not depressed. So,
and you know, they had a huge hit on their hands, but I guess during the second season, they did a bunch of shit to piss off their Christian base, which is just dumb. But yeah.
What did they do?
They started like trying to take it in like dark places and like introduce all kinds of like sexual elements and shit. And like the Christian audience is like, this is what?
They're like, no.
This is like, we're Christians. Like, we're fucking bunch of fuddy duds. Why are you fucking trying to make this cool? So, so then it flopped. So I think it got canceled after season 2 or 3 because it just like totally went off the rails for its target audience. The only one of those shows, by the way, that I like where someone's like, there's like a religious element of like God is trying to help people. Quantum Leap, because it was never explicitly really stated it was God, but it was pretty strongly implied that like God was having him help people throughout time and shit.
Kinda, yeah. I don't remember it being religious, but I kind of remember there being like a little tinge of.
It wasn't
that.
overtly, but it was kind of like there was like a lot of references to like, you know, there's some kind of higher power that wants us to do this, and it was always, and they never. I don't think they ever explicitly came out and said it's God, but it was, they kind of like, they left it kind of open where if you're a religious person watching, that's immediately what you would assume.
It's God.
But I don't know. I liked fucking Quantum Leap though. I mean,
What about Sliders, dude?
Sliders was a pretty cool show. I mean, you know, it was as good as like a fucking Star Trek level kind of shit. I mean, like special effects didn't age well. Some of the fucking episodes are bad, but there were some pretty good episodes of fucking Sliders, dude. I remember they would fucking. I mean, like it's a cool concept, and honestly, it could probably be done better now than it was at the time. And like, okay, so it went off the rails in some of the later seasons, but Sliders was a cool show. I mean, like, especially when it had Gimli in it, like in that dude, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Just John Rhys Davies.
John Rhys Davies.
Yeah, that dude. He was in the first like couple of seasons, and he was a pretty fun character. He's like a fucking.
Who's the main dude again? Jerry. What's his last name?
I don't remember.
O'Connell.
Yeah.
Jerry O'Connell.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
But Sliders was cool. So for anyone who doesn't know what the fucking premise of Sliders was, it ran for about 4 or 5 seasons. I don't remember exactly. I think it was 5. And the premise was basically that this group of people were just jumping from dimension to dimension, trying to get back to their home dimension. Because he found a way to get to alternate, and so every week is like a new alternate version of reality. In this one, the plague has ravaged the lands. That was actually the first episode. I'm like, well, that's ours. You know, and then another one would be like, fascism has happened. Also ours, by the way. So we don't even need these anymore. We're just existing in all Sliders dimensions at once. But, you know, they'd be like, dinosaurs still roam the earth, or it's a dystopian wasteland full of biker gang, you know, whatever the fuck. It's just like every week is like a new, like, oh shit, we're in this crazy universe where this is going on.
It's basically how did humanity fuck up this version of reality?
Right. So it's just like they just kind of bounce from dystopia to dystopia. And then the most interesting one to me was like they go to a dimension and they're like, we're finally home. And people are like, yeah, and they celebrate and shit. But then they realize like halfway through, like, wait, this isn't our dimension. It's just a very, very similar one. There's actually a few things that are different. And then they kind of have to go through this moral dilemma of like, you know, should we fucking stay here or should we fucking just go? Because, you know.
Yeah.
And
dude,
they
Jerry
decide
O'Connell,
they got to leave and keep looking for the real dimension they came from, which I think is a stupid thing. They probably should have just stayed. But I guess
that lead guy, Jerry O'Connell, was the fat kid Vern in Stand By Me.
Really?
Yeah.
He's not fat in this.
No, he definitely grew out of his fat phase, but that was his big break. He was Vern in Stand By Me.
Yep. It's pretty crazy. Stand by me.
Dum, dum, do, do, dum. That's a good movie.
I mean, he was fat, but he wasn't like irredeemably fat.
I mean, he was fat for a kid in the 50s.
Right.
Yeah, sure, I'll grant that. Yeah,
because the movie's set in the 50s, so he was definitely a fat kid.
And
like,
of course,
if you watch the original made-for-TV It, and you see the kid who plays Ben, and it's like, look at this, what an oinker and shit. It's like, that was like half the kids I went to school with. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah. They made him fatter in the new It.
They definitely did. That was one thing they got better. They did better. They actually got a real fat kid. So
yeah,
props to them for that.
I got to give them that, I guess.
Yeah, they got the fatty thing right.
I actually think a lot of those fucking child actors did a pretty good job. it's unfortunate the movie was like missed the mark by such a fucking. I don't know, man. The only time I ever felt in those movies like they got the tone right was that scene under the bleachers where Pennywise is talking to the girl who kind of just went under there for looking for I don't know.
Well, the balloon,
chasing a balloon, yeah.
Her balloon floats down there.
She encounters Pennywise down there, and then they have like this really creepy conversation. And it's just like ratcheting up because you know what he is, and she's just like so naive and like, it's my little friend. And then like, I was like, whoa, the scene's building such tension. And then the next thing you know, they ruin the whole thing by like, he goes like, I'm a big monster. It's like, oh man, come on.
Darn.
You guys had it built up so nice, and then the payoff is
The fucking
stupid CG effect that totally takes you out of it. Okay, whatever.
I feel like we need to have one of those like things like at some local like I don't know VFW or fucking conference hall or whatever. You know, like hi, I'm TJ, and I'm a recovering It watcher. First saw it, in theaters, and can't get out of my head.
Dude, I've never been more fucking like abused by movies than I have in the last 5 to 10 years of my life.
Yeah.
Like there's been, it's just been every year seems to be worse than the last when it comes to movies that used to be good being remade or properties that used to be good being reimagined and re-released in a shitty way. And it's just like, oh, fuck me, dude.
Yeah.
And this is really like what I have to look forward to until we reach the era where I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Where the movies were already shit. If I live long enough to see that, then, great.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where my dad finally ended up because he was a big cinephile and shit. My dad was like a serious movie watcher. Like on an average day, he saw at least 2 movies. Like he was just obsessed. And like a lot of days, he would just spend the entire day watching movies. Like that was his thing. He loved movies. And his taste in movies, I thought, sucked. But he got to that point where like he hated most movies he watched. Like most time he watched a movie, like, what a piece of shit. Let me tell you something. And every once in a while, there'd be something he was like, well, that was okay. That was okay, I guess. But very, very fucking rarely, probably like 2 or 3 times a year would I hear him be like, God damn, that was a good fucking movie, boy.
Yeah.
It was weird.
That's so true.
The weirdest time I ever fucking heard it was we went and saw the Firefly movie, Serenity, which is like a total nerd fucking movie that like nobody fucking saw basically other than like fans of that show. Because everyone else is just like, what's this? Who cares? Fuck off with it. And he walked out of that movie. He was like just effusive with praise. Like, wow, that's one of the best fucking things I've seen in fucking ages. The characters, the fucking situations, the way this guy was introduced and this thing happening here. It's like, wow. He was totally nerding out over it. And it totally was not his kind of movie either. So
no, I remember like we went to go see it. It's like, you sure you want to see this movie? It's like, yeah, I want to see it. It's like, okay.
So that was kind of cool. But usually the shit he liked was like Sleepless in Seattle. It's like, wow, that's a beautiful romance. It's like, Dad, you're you're a womanizing misogynist. What do you give a shit about this?
Yeah, who's been married like more times than the average person could even think about getting married.
But in my heart, all I wanted was true love, TJ. I just never was able to overcome my personal flaws and find it.
It's like, oh, okay, cool, gotcha. He never said that. That's just my...
Yeah, they'll say, like, I'm like, when the fuck was that ever said? These fucking bitches won't just let me cheat.
Yeah.
That was more the mentality of, like, hey, I should be allowed to cheat.
I do remember one real sad conversation in a pizza place where he was just, like, going over his life and, like, what did it all amount to? All the things I did, all the women I love, what did it all really mean? Nothing. I'm like, all right. Well,
that's
pretty good pizza. Dad. Pretty good pizza, huh, Dad?
Yeah. Thanks for the preview from the future. What I have to look forward to.
He laid some
thing. What a heavy thing to lay on somebody over pizza, dude.
I know, right?
It was pizza. By the way, life is futile, and it doesn't matter what you do, how you struggle, how you live, how you love, how you hate.
Well, you know what was weird though too? The pizza place, like the pizza place itself had an atmosphere that was weirdly conducive to it because like it was good pizza, but the place itself was like dingy. And so
I got to be honest with you. The best pizza that I've ever had was in a place like that. Hole in the wall Italian restaurants are like, you take a gamble when you go into one, because if they're bad, we're talking real bad. Like Italian food is one of those foods that really doesn't have like a mediocre ground. It's either shit, watery, poorly cooked, microwaved, nasty, fucking underseasoned or overseasoned shit, or it's delicious. We had this place that was right by my condo that I lived in Fresno that was like exactly that. It was this little strip mall fucking place that you could tell was probably meant to be like a beauty parlor or something. The dude had bought it and converted it into a restaurant. It probably seated like 12 people. It was tiny. All very, very claustrophobic too. Like it felt like the waitresses had a hard time getting around, you know, and shit. But the food, fucking knock your socks off amazing, dude.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's totally true. All the best Italian restaurants I've ever been to have exactly meet that description of like small places that like seat very few people, and you know shit's cooked to order and it takes a long fucking time to get to your table, and you know in the meantime you fill up on a bunch of bread and olive oil and shit.
Oh, dude, they had this shit, the bruschetta there. Oh, you ever had bruschetta? Oh my god,
fuck yeah, dude, fuck yeah.
With the fucking the vinegar soaked tomatoes and the fresh buffalo mozzarella and and it just like on the little toast. Oh my fucking god, dude, we'd order that because that would come out quick. You know what I mean? We'd sit there and munch that down, and by the time you get done with that, it's another fucking 10-15 minutes. Your food comes out, and it's fucking perfect.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, dude. You remember TJ? You remember that fucking pupusa joint we went to?
Yeah,
in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know where to fucking eat. We were walking around. We went to that weed store and we were like, hey, let's find a place to eat. And I told you guys, I was like, dude, hole in the wall restaurants here in LA are usually really fucking good. And we saw that fucking, it was called World of Pupusas, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And none of us knew what a fucking pupusa was. So we looked it up and they were like, oh, it's like a fucking like pocket thing filled with meat and cheese and shit and different fillings. Okay. We went in there. It probably took us like an hour and a half to get served. You remember that shit? We just sat there. The tiny little strip mall place. But when they brought those fucking pupusas, every last one of us at the table were like, we should have ordered more of these fucking pupusas, dude. like they were so fucking good.
Oh man, they were delicious. Oh yeah. I mean, like it's the thing,
you just can't get around here.
When you don't know what you want to get, you know. I mean, like if you've never had experience with a food before, you know, it's hard to know how much to order or any of that kind of shit. So like, yeah, exactly. We definitely, when we got those, we were definitely like, motherfucker, dude, we should have ordered like double this, but
yeah, they were fucking delicious.
Fucking delicious shit.
Being served out of a shitty little strip mall place with a hand-drawn sign that said World of Pupusas on it. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something, Paul. We had a Thai place when we lived in Palmdale, California. Like just exactly like that. A little tiny shop. Like we had tried a bunch of different places. Like we actually had this one we liked, but then like me and TJ realized they were watering down their soy sauce. We're like, man, fuck this place. They're watering down their soy sauce. Like they ain't getting our business. We found this little fucking hole in the wall place. Hardly ever had anyone in it. Had the best fucking Thai food that we had ever had in that area, or pretty much like since that.
Yeah,
and it was just a hole in the wall. It was basically the owner would just come.
Remember, there was like that other.
He always like pray. He'd be like this all constant.
Oh my god, that dude would pray to his weird little statue constantly. I don't know if it was Buddha or who it was, but he had some
probably not.
He had some kind of crazy ass looking deity up on the wall that looked like fucking, I don't even know what crazy shit, but it's like elephant tusks and 18 arms and fucking cow horns or whatever the fuck is going on. And he's like, you know, probably like if we were there for like maybe like 45 minutes, we'd see him pray to it like 3 or 4 times. He'd be like,
sounds like Ganesh.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
I mean, it might have been. I don't know.
I mean, we're ignorant as fuck about that.
Elephant tusks and multiple arms.
I mean, I don't really remember what it actually looked like. I'm just throwing shit out there that I've seen on various gods, but he would pray to it constantly is the point. And, but anyway, that food was great. Remember that crispy, like that crispy rice soup or whatever the fuck he would
Yes,
serve.
dude,
That
the
was
fucking
good
rice
shit.
soup. Oh my god,
That shit was
it was
so
basically
fucking
a clear
good.
soup, but it had these crispy pieces of rice in it, dude. Oh
But that broth was like the best tasting fucking broth ever. Remember that other restaurant that was right next to it that was like the slowest fuck Asian place, like the Chinese
but the best
place
Chinese food in that area.
Yeah, the Chinese food was great, but it took fucking forever. Like if you only went to that place if you had like 2 hours to kill.
Right.
But they would fucking did it take a long time but the food was really great, but it was also just like perpetually filled with crazy people. Like drug addicts would come in there and be like, "You got a spoon, man?" And you're like, "Get out! No spoon! No spoon! Get out! Fucking God! Fucking God!"
Yeah, and they came up to us like, "So sorry."
I hate God. Why?
Like,
Give
we
me
don't
a
care,
spoon,
dude.
God. Give me a fucking spoon.
We don't think you made the crazy guy come in here demand a spoon
and then be
to
like,
shoot up heroin
"Oh,
with."
so sorry, so sorry."
You remember that one woman that fucking went ape shit on me? She thought I was trying to leave without
Yeah,
paying.
that was not the same place, but yeah.
No, that was a different one. Dude,
yeah.
Paul, so like,
oh yeah, Scott, you tell it.
so dude, Paul, like, there's like the way it looked was like there was a cash register to pay, but like from the back area, because it was just run by a couple, like two Chinese people,
Right.
and like, see, so they were not able to see the register where TJ was paying. So I get up, I'm like, TJ, you got this? Like, yeah, I'm paying. I start walking out the door, and I hear like, "Ah, yeah! Stop!" And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it's the woman. She's like, "You don't pay! You don't pay! You don't pay! You don't pay!" And I'm like, "You fucking dumb bitch! Look at my brother at the cash register, you fucking moron!"
She won't look.
And she looks.
Well, she finally did look. He told, "Look over there, he's over there." She don't understand. He's over there. He's trying to pay right now. And then she turns around after this fucking display of like demon rage. She sees me. She's like, and I remember,
Dude, like,
I'll never
care,
fucking
like, she
forget
didn't
it.
intimidate me. I was about to fucking fuck her up. I was like, "You want to yell at me like this? Let's just go."
She turns. She looks
And then
at me.
it's just like,
She's like, "Ah, oh!" Just like
almost like,
instant.
"Fuck
like-
you."
It's like, whoa, we never went back there.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck you, dude." Like, no, like I was pretty much like, "Fuck off."
That
And
was
you
the-
paid, and you're just like,
That was the last straw against that place. The first straw was no fountain drinks. Serve you fucking canned
but
shit.
their food was good.
I don't like
their
that.
food was still good, but when the woman just
The
went
second
apeshit
straw
without-
the second straw for me was that time we were in there and those two black dudes were they're like, "Yo man, give us a ride. Give us a ride." It's like, "No, I ain't giving you no ride.
Yeah, I
Get the
hate
fuck
to,
out
yeah, I
of
hate
here."
to be racist, but they must have thought we were the dumbest motherfuckers because like they clearly had the plans to rob us or some shit.
We want to ride to the theater. You just let us give us a ride with y'all. It's like, "No, we
Like,
ain't giving you
nah.
no ride. Fuck off."
Yeah, dude, it ain't gonna happen.
Come on, man. No, fuck off.
Yeah, we're
You
like,
ain't getting no fucking ride off us, you
yeah,
stupid
we pretty
fucks.
much like just said like, "Look, dude, like we'll call a cab for you, man. You need that?" No, like, okay, well, I can't help you with the ride. I gotta get back to work. Like, I don't know you. I ain't getting to let you have a fucking ride in my car.
I know I'm getting in my
Retarded
goddamn
you?
car unless I fucking know who the fuck they are.
Yeah, period. I don't care what they look like. Some fucking So before someone says we're just racist, like if two fucking strung out white dudes that come to us and be like, "Can we have a ride?"
I don't care if they strung out or
too.
not. I don't care if they fucking the most respectable looking motherfuckers on the face of the earth. They ain't getting in my damn car.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. I don't.
You don't know somebody.
I ain't
fuck
fucking
them. You don't know
ride
what they're
share.
gonna do.
I ain't fucking Uber, bitch.
Well, yeah. Well, now with Uber existing, to be like, "Yeah, dude, I'll help you out. You got an app? I'll send you Uber credits. There you go. Get to the theater."
But yeah, some crazy times in restaurants. Crazy times in these little weird Chinese weird little shithole restaurants definitely have more character than like
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
some kind
Not
of
even
corporate
close.
chain bullshit where nothing interesting ever happens. That's why Vadim's fucking story of Applebee's is so fucking absurd. That's why that's why that fucking caught on is so fucking ridiculous because people know shit like that don't never happen in no fucking Applebee's.
I mean, there are little like details about it that we don't even really talk about anymore. The Vadim story, like the part of it that we kind of never discuss when we bring it up anymore is that Vadim was saying that like he decided not to go have this orgy so that he could be on the show. Like that was the point of him telling the story.
Oh, I
was
know.
that I could have been in an orgy with a bunch of hot bi chicks that were trying to finger fuck each other at the Applebee's, but I decided instead I was going to come on the Drunken Peasants. And I remember the first thing we fucked on him about after the story was, man, you're fucking stupid for coming on this show. Like, you should have went and got laid, you dumb fuck.
Like, yeah, we all said.
Because here's the thing:
like,
any one of us, if that had happened, would have been like, "Hey guys, fuck this show. I'm doing this orgy with these Applebee's bitches." You know?
If either of you had called me up or like, I ain't gonna make it. I met these two chicks at Applebee's. Like, oh, okay, we'll see. That's weird, but have fun.
The way that, like, if it was like, if something like that really like legit happened, and there's like big titties and like, yeah, we all want to. That's like, I mean, like, I wouldn't even remember like was on a show. Like, show what the whatever. I wouldn't. There wouldn't be no call of like, I'm gonna be a little late, you guys. It'd just be like, turn my ringer off. Fuck this. Throw that phone in the ocean. I don't know.
Well, fair enough. I don't blame you either way. But yeah, of course, I had to go do the show. But
anyway, that fuck story never happened anyway. So whatever.
Yeah. Well, no shit never fucking happened. Maybe the kernel of truth, I believe, is maybe he was there getting some like apps. It's like it's happy hour, half off apps, and he saw a couple hot chicks, and he's like, man, I'd like to fuck them. And then he ate his food and went home. So I believe that maybe it happened.
That story, I so strongly disbelieve that story that I don't even want to grant it a kernel of truth. I don't even think fucking Vadim Newquist has ever even set foot in an Applebee's. I think maybe one time
there was a fucking guy that was murdered. Some guy was racist. And he murdered an Indian dude at Applebee's at a bar.
Okay,
so crazy does happen occasionally at Applebee's. I have to say that.
All right, fair enough. I guess that is
shit.
Yeah, vaping there.
Shit happens of like
nicotine, TJ.
What's that?
So I noticed you've been vaping. Do you back to the old nicotine, TJ?
No, there ain't no nicotine in this. Don't worry.
Oh, okay, never mind. I finally saw it clearly. Yeah, I have to come pay you a visit later, TJ. I didn't realize you had one of those.
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Yeah, why don't you mail that over here, piece of shit?
Nope.
Yeah. Mail. I can do a dead drop.
You've got mail.
Dead drop it over here. Come on, bitch. Get in your car right now.
Okay,
You've got mail.
Stick that shit in your pocket. Get it. Leave the fucking studio right now. And come over here with that thing immediately. Or else.
Nope. I ain't doing it.
TJ.
I ain't doing it.
Consequences.
Yeah, TJ.
There will be consequences, TJ.
Consequences will never be the same.
They will never be the same. Who said that? Who said consequences will never be the same?
That one dude who was like defending his like daughter who was getting like cyberbullied or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah.
And he made that video that made everything so much worse for them.
Oh my god.
Listen, you little punks. If you keep messing with my daughter, consequences will never be the same again.
We've backtraced your accounts, and we know, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. We know who you are. We backtraced it.
Should have just called Jay and Silent Bob, dude. They could have dealt with him. That's one of my favorite scenes of that movie, as they just use their fucking money they get just to track down and beat the shit out of people that talk shit about them on the internet. Back when Kevin Smith was funny.
Yep.
Sigh.
Back when Kevin Smith used to be funny. He's still pretty funny as a person. If you
as a person, I agree.
If you watch him do his little Q&A things, stand up sessions, those are usually pretty funny.
Oh no, Kevin Smith, as far as like extemporaneous speaking, is great. As far as his movie making ability, I don't know what happened to that, but it was stolen by a demon or something.
I mean, it ain't as extemporaneous as you think. Those are mostly like polished comedy routines that he. Like, that's why when someone asks him a question, he fucking goes off and tells like a bunch of unrelated stories that somehow vaguely lead back to the answer to the question. It's because those stories are already all in his back pocket as like polished comedy routines.
I've only seen like one or two of them. I'm not like really intensely, right. But yeah, I guess you would know better than me because I know you've always kind of been a bigger Kevin Smith fan than I've been. But I've always enjoyed his stuff.
I mean, I've kind of fallen off. I haven't watched his most recent films. I think I stopped watching. I never saw Red State, which I know was the big divisive one.
I did see Red State,
but that's pretty much when I fell off. After Cop Out, I was like, I ain't I can't do this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore.
Movie. I mean, there's not even a defensive cop out. That's just an overall really horrible fucking.
Dude,
film.
I don't know what year. I need to figure this out. I need to figure out what year Bruce Willis died. I need to figure out what. I need to figure.
Willis died.
Yeah, I need to figure out what year he died. I need to figure out what year, like, I mean, because obviously he's still alive, but I need to figure out what year his, like, giving a shit just completely died. I want to find the last movie wherein Bruce Willis actually gave a fuck.
Looper.
Yeah, maybe.
No, yeah.
No, that's exactly.
Looper's pretty good. What was that, 2012?
That was 2012, yeah.
Yeah, Looper's a good movie. That was a Ryan Johnson movie. I think Ryan Johnson actually is a pretty good director, despite fucking that Star Wars movie.
I mean, that fucking movie, I watched it recently with Amelia for the first time. She hadn't seen it before, and she really liked it. And that movie holds up to this day. It's really, really good.
Yeah, and people try to. I hate when someone comes to me about a movie like Looper or something like the time travel doesn't make. Listen, dude, the time travel never makes sense.
Right.
It never makes sense.
Just get over
There's
it.
no fucking. If you're gonna go to a time travel movie, go in knowing like this will not make fucking sense because they never do. Back to the Future doesn't make sense. Fucking 12 Monkeys, none of it makes fucking sense. All right, so just fucking. Don't even go see a time travel movie if you're going to hold it to that fucking standard.
Dude, I got to be honest with you. Looper, I think, handles time travel better than most time travel films, too. Like, Looper, like, I don't really, like, what are some of the paradoxes in Looper that are just blatant?
So, I haven't seen it in a while. I do remember...
Remember the premise is that in the future, time travel is invented. But in the time of the movie, it hasn't been yet.
Right.
And
so they would send
the gangs in the future would send like a boss man back in time, right? To get a gang together whose job it was to stand at a certain spot at a certain time and just immediately kill the dude that appears. Because they needed a way to get rid of bodies, because in the future it's impossible because of IDs and genetic ID and shit. And so they send them back to a time where you could still stuff a body in an incinerator and nobody'd find it. And that's like, I really don't understand like what the paradox is there.
Okay, so some of the paradoxes, I found an article about this, so let's see what their fucking shit is. Because I remember I had at least a couple when I walked out of it, but it's been so long. Because I saw it in theaters in 2012, which I did like it then, even though it did have some issues. So this is all kind of gets deep into the plot of the movie, but
I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not a movie I've actually watched more than once, so I couldn't even fucking begin. I think
so here's
a lot of the thrust of it wasn't it like just the whole plot, like how he becomes the.
All right, so at the end of the movie, he realizes the guy realizes that he himself is the killer or whatever, that he sets the thing in motion that causes all this to happen or whatever. So that he ends it by shooting himself as a younger man so that his older self is killed and all this like thing can be avoided or whatever. Because like the kid in the movie is going to grow up to be like this crazy psycho killer that's like this murderous rampaging maniac in the future because he went through this crazy traumatic event when he was younger. So and he so the hero realizes that he's the one who caused the trauma that made this kid into a fucking psycho. So he ends the thing by killing himself. So here's what this article says about that. So the entire movie never happened. If Joe kills himself while young, he never grows old. If he never grows old, he never gets sent back. If he never gets sent back, he never tries to kill the Rainmaker. If he never tries to kill the Rainmaker, he never kills himself. The entire remainder of the movie is a paradox. It should never happen because none of it happened. Stop right there. I know what you're thinking. Alternate dimensions. No. That would be a plausible excuse for a time travel movie. The audience could set aside the uneasiness about a third scientifically impossible thing, telekinesis and time travel, except for one problem. Joe carves a message into his arm and it shows up on old Joe. That shows that the present and future are linked. Things can change in the present, then will affect the future. The future is not the future. The future is the future, not a future. So blah, 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 blah. I mean, basically, it has the same... I mean, it's the grandfather paradox. That's the fucking problem in every time travel movie. It always fucking is going to trigger that grandfather paradox at some point.
I don't even really fucking understand what the issue is. So, okay, like... Well, the assumption is that... Because we see... Like, we get that montage of the main character Joe growing up, becoming this fucking drug-addled, gangster basically in China.
Right.
Then meeting a woman that like saves him and gets him clean. And then, his day comes and it's time for him to be sent back to be killed because they're closing the loops or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he fucking shows. I just don't understand. Like, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. Like,
just look, it's a time travel movie. There's all it's even if we can figure out a way for it to make sense, it's gonna be convoluted as fuck. Shut up and enjoy the fucking movie.
I just didn't think that the way that it was presented in fucking Looper was convoluted at all. I thought it was pretty straightforward.
But I'm saying you can make it convoluted if you really try to pick it apart. If you're really sitting there like, does this really make sense? Because if they did this at this point, then how would this happen here?
Yeah, ultimately, it doesn't make sense.
If he killed himself, then how did he go back to traumatize himself in the first place? None of this even happened in the first place because it self-negates and it endlessly negates and unnegates and negates and unnegates and negates and unnegates.
In that universe,
yeah,
then you just have to accept it as that, okay, well, then that obviously can still happen because that's the reality they live in.
You want to see a time travel movie that really doesn't fucking make no goddamn sense? Go watch the fucking Butterfly Effect. That shit that shit just changes the rules fucking higgledy-piggledy throughout the whole fucking movie.
It's also a shit movie. So,
dude, there's fangirls and fanboys of that fucking piece of shit.
Oh, I know. Of course there are. But because like
what movie is really kind of fucking deep and stuff, but no one really fucking recognizes how deep and brilliant it is? The Butterfly Effect.
It's
really pretty profound.
Flaps its wings, and on the other side of the world,
tsunami. I hate that shit. Yeah. None of the time travel movies don't make sense. I've never seen one that I fucking thought made sense. I just never have.
Make sense, DJ. They all make sense.
You know why? Because time travel as a fucking time travel as a concept is pretty much absurd. So, like, if it existed,
I think the idea is that he changes the fucking past by escaping when he wasn't. When I guess because it shows like an alternate timeline when Joe shoots himself, right? Where it shows the timeline of the movie where Joe shoots himself, rips open the thing, finds the gold, which tells him like, hey, this is your body that you've just killed.
Yeah.
Goes on to live and decides to change, like decides to fight going back.
I don't know. You've seen this movie a lot more recently than I have, so I don't know.
Well, but it's not that fucking complex. He shoots himself. Right. He goes on and lives his life, meets the love of his life. Mm-hmm. Then the guys show up, and he fights them. Mm-hmm. And instead of showing up in the past like he was supposed to, tied up and hogtied with a bag over his head and no way to tell who he is.
Also, don't they kill his wife? Even though the whole conceit is that they can't get away with murder in the future?
They, I guess. Maybe they sent her fucking body back in time. I don't know.
So that's another one. But I don't know. Look.
Who fucking cares, dude? I'm watching a movie.
I don't give a shit.
This is all suspension of disbelief. And I thought Looper was a good movie when I saw it.
Maybe it makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. I don't really give a shit. It's a time travel movie.
People are just too pedantic about shit like that.
I agree.
Too argumentative. It's like,
I mean, if you're gonna fucking start, we're gonna start picking shit apart to that level of like, that's not how it would work. Then like, just shut up. Don't even watch fucking movies. Then like, that's not what an alien would really look like. That's not how fucking physics works. Like, come on,
dude. A great example too. It's like playing a video game. There's like, you need a key to unlock this door. I've got a gun. Why don't you shoot the fucking lock off and kick the door in? You know, it's
my God. Talk about every fucking Resident Evil game I've ever played. Yeah, that's basically it. It's like
that's what I was thinking in my head. Resident Evil 2, just like, what the fuck, dude? Why can't I just shoot this thing?
It's just like a normal fucking door with a normal key that you need to find somewhere in the mansion, and you've got a fucking big double-barreled shotgun. It's like, I could spend 2 ammo and blow this fucking door off of its hinges, or I could roam around this insane trap-filled zombie nightmare looking for a key. You know what I mean? But that's part of the game. Like, that's part of the enjoyment of the game.
There's fucking
if
scenes.
you could just shoot your way through every door to the final boss, there wouldn't be much of a fucking game.
I remember there's times in Resident Evil games where like there'd be like a gate that's locked, and I'm looking at it like this main character could just literally like jump over this fucking gate. I mean, like this makes no sense.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever.
There's plenty of games like that.
It's fucking
that's
Resident. The whole point is to fucking have to go look for the fucking key. Because if you could just like magic the door open or just shoot it or jump over it or whatever the fuck, it's not much of a fucking game at that point. Like, yeah, I did this fucking 2-minute Resident Evil speed run. I just shot through every door, you know?
I don't know, man. That's why, like, I just think it's like, I definitely understand criticism of film, and we've done tons of it. But it's like, when you talk about something like that, it's like, if that's the conceit of the movie and that's the whole reason why people are attracted to seeing the movie is like, it's this weird time travel storyline. Like, just go watch the movie. Like, yeah, time travel doesn't make sense because it's not real. They haven't really invented time travel. If they did, there'd have to be a way that it could actually work, you know?
I mean, wouldn't we have gotten a visit by now? Someone's like, hey, I'm here to observe you in 2020.
Or remember Stephen Hawking would famously do those time traveler parties.
Yeah, where he sent out the invitation afterwards or whatever.
Yeah. And of course you can come. If you, of course, could time travel back to the party.
Everybody come.
And surprisingly, no one ever showed up.
I should have showed up to one of those. Like, all right, I'm here. I'm from 2098. What's up? All right. That's a grease trap, right?
That's a green one.
That's a fucking grease trap, I guess.
Could be a grease trap. Maybe not.
Deep bad fried. Deep bad fried.